today we have another one of the one-on-one team members who will be presenting to us our content. Leonie is here. We met her yesterday, part of the team as well. So I'd like to now introduce Mr. Dane Bennett, and I want you to know, Dane, I don't know if Leonie told you, but we like to see our presenter. So
stuff. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for the wonderful introduction. Right. And yes, I don't have a problem showing my video. As you can see, I'm here. So thank you, wonderful Bahamian teachers, for joining the session today. Right. So what we'll be doing, I'll just be doing a brief overview of content, right, in regards to adding content to your classes and so forth, right? Pretty cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys, and I must congratulate the few persons. I heard Samantha saying that some persons already had started to add content to their classes already, even though it was not each. It showed that persons are trying, playing with the platform. So I'm just gonna share my screen with you, so I could just do a brief overview of adding content to this. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. All right, so here's my screen here. I hope everyone is seeing it now. And Samantha, are you seeing it?
Yeah, we can.
Great stuff, great stuff. So let me just go ahead and start. So I'm not gonna just lead you into it blindly. I'm going to do like a refresher of creating a class, right? So I think Leonie did a pretty awesome job yesterday in showing you guys how to create classes. So I'm just gonna do a brief run through before I start to add content. So you just go ahead and create the class right here. Select the plus sign, then you give your class a name. So for instance, we'll be using biology, right, for the class name. Class description, you can say this is a class about biology, just for example, right? And this is the code that's automatically generated for you guys to share with your students and so forth. So they could have access to your class and so forth. There's a class capacity right here. You could say 300, any amount you want to say. So select grade, say grade 7, a subject, biology, of course. Where is biology? Let me see. So you could scroll through. If you're having problem finding, you could just type the first letter, B, and there you go, right there, biology. And you just create your class. Voila, magic, right? So easy to create classes on the platform. And these are the different ways that you could go ahead and share your class, your code with your students and so forth. So you could just copy the link right here, as you can see, um, copy right here. Well, you don't have to select, you just select copy right here. Click to copy class registration link. You'll just copy the link itself and invite students by email, right? So right here, you'll just enter the student's email at gmail.com, for example. Then you separate it with a comma, right? Then the next email, then a comma. So that's basically how you would invite students to void. Or if you're in a group, you just share the code with them just like, all right? So let's go to my class. Just refreshing. Here we go. Here's the biology class that we just created. So let's go. Let's start to add some content to our class. So I go ahead and select the class. Remember, guys, you could ask questions in the chat if you have any concerns towards this, right? So before we start to add any content, right, we want to go ahead and create sections, right? It's basically like organizing your content, right? So we go ahead and select create session right here. So you could say sample session 1, for example, right? Just for example. And you could say, it says, tell us about your session. Keep it nice and short. So you could say, this session gives you awesome knowledge about the reproductive system since we are doing biology, just for example, right? Can you go ahead and
One
yes,
second, Dan.
sure.
Can we duplicate a class once it's been created?
So duplicating class, let me go ahead and see. Oh, best I could check on that. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I've
So,
never duplicated a class. I just
okay,
always try.
that's addressing one of the questions coming in. If a teacher is teaching multiple grades of the same class or multiple groups of the same class, what can they create the course, one course, and then duplicate it so that they can say 7A, 7B, 7C, rather than having to create those 3 classes and upload the content in each one of those separately.
Okay, so I would have to check on Leonie and that. I don't know if Leonie know if you could duplicate classes. I've always, since the classes are so easily created, we just usually, like you could say biology 2 for such and such, but in regards to just duplicating from scratch, I've never done that. I don't know if Leonie is aware of.
I'm actually checking on myself because I have never done it. I usually just create classes from scratch. So I'm checking on that right now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question. So we just go ahead and continue. Now to add content. So as you can see right here, we just created a sample session. So scrolling down to see. It's loading just a minute. So here we go, sample session 1. That's the session that we just created, right? So we want to add the content to that session. So we go ahead and select the add content button right here, green. You go ahead and select add content, right? So you're seeing there are multiple ways we have here that you could add content, and I'm pretty sure that I've been advised that we are working on some new ways to add content as well. So it's a ever-growing platform, guys. Really awesome stuff. So here you could add assignment. First one, you could add assignment. Let's just go to first. So you could add assignment, survey, quiz, announcement, YouTube videos as well. If you see an awesome YouTube video that you think just describes the topic perfectly, you could just go ahead and add it from there, and also upload from your Google Drive or whatever drive if you have content from there. And this you could just upload from your device. Basically, if you have a say a Word document, a video, anything you have on your device, save on your device itself, you could just select file from your device and upload from there. So it's very cool, cool in regards to that. So I'm just going to do a practical example of adding some content. And just go back to sketch right here. So I want to first add assignment. So add content once more. So let's add an assignment. Just create an assignment here. So for example, we'll be looking at a respiratory system, just an example. I'm not a biology expert. I'm just trying to incorporate some stuff, right? Assignment description. So you could say this assignment is about the body or anything like, yeah, in that sense. And here you'll be able to set a pass mark for the assignment, right? So as you can see, the most commonly used pass mark is 50%. If you know the class is per week, you could say the pass mark 12%, but certainly wouldn't recommend that, right? So you could go to like say pass mark 60%, anywhere you want to put it, because it's your class and you know what you want. And you could adjust the due date here for the assignment. So you select right there. Say today's May 19. Let's say we want the assignment to be done by the 26th. You go ahead, select the 26th right here. That's 1 week time. Okay. So you select the time here. So let's say 3 o'clock. on the 26th, right? 3 o'clock and okay. So you bring this right around here. So it's 3 o'clock. Okay. Awesome stuff. Select a lesson, right? So you could create a lesson if you want. Say lesson one. Just for example, you go ahead and post the assignment. The assignment will be posted on the platform. Right? It's loading a bit, just a moment. So cool stuff. Here we go. This is the assignment we just created under the lesson one. So it's the escritory system. You see lesson one that we place right here. And this assignment is about the body. That's the description that we placed. And this is the due date, due on May 26, 2020 at 3 o'clock a.m. So it's basically very simple to add the assignment there. We want to look on some other cool stuff. So you want to add a survey, for example, you go ahead and select survey, right? So you want to say, let's say webinar, I don't know, I just, you want to, if you want to create a new lesson, you could go ahead or you could just put it back under the same lesson that we stated, right? So you could go ahead, lesson 2, right here, and you add. It's going to bring you to the page where you could enter your questions and so forth that you want to put in the survey, right? So it's loading up right now, so we get straight to it. So you will be taken to this page. So this is the name of the survey, as we stated. So we say webinar survey. You could put a description of the survey. This how you feel about today's session. Right?
I answer them now. You know, a lot of these for me.
Good stuff. So when now you want to add the questions, you go ahead, select right here, questions, then you go ahead and add question. So the question that you want to have, you could have matrix, multiple choice, which has many answers, or multiple choice with just one single answer. So we'll start at basic multiple choices, single answer. Go ahead. It's already selected. We go ahead. Questions from right, so you're seeing one of the questions, was this video helpful? Let me go ahead and add a next question. Next question we should, I don't know, see why it's asking me. Let me go ahead. If you want to, question, this lesson, let me go back to this lesson. Change your may not be safe. Sure, leave this page and see what happens. So, add questions. Not sure, it should be, let's see if this is populated. So that's usually where you add the question. Perfect. So this is the page that should populate after you select add question, right? So this is the type of questions as we basically selected. You could give a description right here. So you could ask, was this session helpful today? And you could have answers. Right here is where you put the answers. Right here is where the students will be able to select answers. So you could say yes, right? And you could say no. And you could say maybe so, but you're not going to say maybe so. You're going to say probably undecided, right? And then we go ahead and save question. So you select save question right here. Just a moment while it loads up. Great stuff. So you go ahead and view survey. So you could probably just like test the survey to see if it works. Right, so here's the survey right here, webinar survey. You go ahead and you select start. You're going to see all the questions that we created, populated. Awesome stuff. So here's this question. In this case, you're just seeing one question. Remember, you guys, you have the opportunity to add as much questions as you want, and you could let it be as detailed as possible as you want. We're just doing this very simple stuff, right? So, was the session helpful today? You go ahead, yes, you choose, and then you submit survey. Right? The survey is basically done, right? It's completed, and we'll be able to see the survey back when we're in classroom. So we just go back to our class, biology class, to add just a few more content. As you can see, the way the survey is set up, right? It's similar to a quiz. So it's basically the same way you add a quiz, right? It's just that the name is quiz. So you could just say, for instance, let me show you first. Here, here's the quiz. 0 done. You can see here because no one's doing the quiz as yet. So if anyone have done the quiz, you will see how many persons have done the quiz right here. So we want to go ahead now and add a quiz. It's basically the same thing. So you're just gonna select quiz. About the body, just for example, about the body, and then you could create a new lesson if you wish, or if you want to add it same under lesson 1 or lesson 2, right? Go ahead and add it. You're going to see it's the same way we just created the survey. It's just that it has the name quiz, right? So you're basically creating the quiz now. The quiz is the name of the quiz about the body. Right here you have the description. Right here. Reproductive system. That's basically a description. You can describe it as any way you want, okay? So you go to the questions right now. You're going to add the question just like we did for the survey. So we go ahead and add a question, right? Finger under question. As you can see for the quiz, there are so many different types. You could have true and false, match, drag and drop matrix, any way you feel. The questions that vary with the quiz, that's the significant difference in regards to survey, because you could set the question as much as you want. So let's say many answers, right? Leave, sure. It's gonna ask you to leave. Just it's gonna go to the page where you go ahead and select the question. Great stuff. It's not finished loading as yet. Right here is where you will add the question. All right. So here's the question. You could say, which of these are organs of the body? Right? So remember the type of questions that we chose, multiple questions, many answers, right? So it's possible you could give more than one answer to that. So you could go kidney, one, brain. Right here, if you want to remove and you guys select the minus. If you want to add a next option, that's what the plus is here for, right? So kidney, heart. Here, that's not an organ. So that's not going to be selected. Right, so that's basically it. You go ahead and save question. Very similar to how we created the survey just now. You could add multiple questions. Just select add a question once more. Right, multiple questions in regards to that. Just for the interest of time, we'll keep it as simple as possible. But there are a lot of cool options there for you guys on the platform. Trust me. Okay, it's still loading, guys. Just a minute.
I just want to say this, Jane, while you're doing that, just to remind the persons that tomorrow we'll be looking at deeply assessment and feedback. So these specific questions related to assessment, grading, and that type of stuff, you will see that more deeply tomorrow. Okay, so I'll dismiss some of those questions that's coming in regarding that.
Okay. Going back to the class, see if we can. Let me see. This would be, let me see, I'm looking for the quiz. I'm not seeing it as yet. But as you see, I'm not sure if it's the problem with the internet or so, because I just saved the quiz and I'm not seeing it right here. But as I said before, it's exactly the same as how we did the survey. You put it under the lesson, and once you save the quiz, you could go there, seeing that it was multiple sections, answers you could choose. You're gonna just choose the art and the brain for the, and just leave out here, because that's the way it was structured. So it's basically simple in that regards. We want to add an announcement right here. I think I remember Leonie showing you guys how to add an announcement yesterday, but that's fine. We'll just go there again. So say you're reminding your students about an assignment, you're just creating an announcement right here. Remember to complete assignment on time, guys. That's just an announcement. You want to put that announcement under lesson 1, or you could create, it's your choice. Go ahead, post announcement. You should be seeing the announcement right after it has been posted. Just a minute. And they could also see the assignment. They say, oh, I forgot that announcement saved their lives. Right, so here it is, final assignment reminder. Remember to complete your assignment on time, guys. So stuff like those, we make it great for you. So say, as I was mentioning before, you saw a very cool YouTube video you think would explain the topic very well. So you could add content right here. So you just select the YouTube link right here under the add content section, not the link, but the representation. Say you want to search, it's basically searching. It's like you're in YouTube right here from the online platform itself. That's how cool it is, right? So it's, you just search from here, reproductive system. Go ahead, select search. You should see all the videos about that on YouTube. So here are multiple. Say you want to add this one, double click right there. You're being required to add a lesson. That's where you want to put. Let's create a new lesson for this. Right. Reproductive video, right? You could just have that for lesson. And just say for the name, you could say YouTube. That's fine. Whatever you want to call it, go ahead and post. So you should be able once. That's how you're just setting up your so here you go, guys. Here is the video, right under YouTube section, under reproductive video. That's the lesson, and YouTube, as we selected the title and the reproductive video. So you could just go ahead. The students will be able to go ahead, select the video. Say, oh, this is the video that my teacher wanted me to see. You just go ahead, select that video. The video will pop right there. There you go. And you just play the video right there as if you are in YouTube. Isn't that cool, guys? You don't even have to go to YouTube. So, see? Great stuff. So, that's basically from there. And we have a few more options. If you have content on your drive, you could just go ahead, upload from Google Drive, upload from your device using this paperclip right here. If you have videos on your device, if you have documents on your device, it doesn't matter. You go ahead, upload, and you're going to select a file from your device. You're going to go into your device. You could select anywhere where you store the file, so you could put it in a lesson on your classroom, right? Making it very convenient to you guys. And also, you can let me go back. I was showing that you guys could, before I go to that cool part that I'm very sure you're going to find interesting. Let me just, I want to show you guys to add one more content. Guys, really hope you're all finding this interesting, right? Because it's like your own class, you're setting up everything yourself, right? Add content, so link, right? So as I said before, you then went ahead and you select the video directly from YouTube. You could just put in the YouTube URL right here if you wish, right? And go ahead, add the link, so the students will be able to click on the link and go straight to wherever you want them to go, whatever the link is about. So that's basically it. But this now, guys, that I'm going to show you, right? You're going to select course library, right? So all that cool stuff, right, that I just showed you, how you could to do it and so forth, guess what? You don't even have to do that, right? Because seeing that if you access our course library, right, we have so many content there based on, so say for biology, we have many biology contents there from biology topics and so forth. You could just choose directly from the course library instead of outsourcing to try figuring out where you're going to get these content from to show your children. So go ahead, select course library, start now. Get access to all self-study material. I'm just going through. So right here, so you see the class, biology class, add lesson from library, biology transporting animals. If you're doing that topic right there, you see you have components of blood. You even have a quiz right here, right, that you can add. So you don't have to create your own quiz. You could add this quiz right here. So let's start at add lesson from library. Right. So here you go. Say you want to add an excretory system. Let's go ahead. Select add. It allows you to add more than one if you wish. Let's talk about the diseases. In these times of COVID, you want to know about diseases, how to better prepare yourself. So you just go ahead, select those two topics, then you select load changes right here. Once you select load changes, it will go ahead and add it directly to your platform to allow your student to go ahead and see. So let me. So here they are under the library section, right? So the excretory system and diseases, those are the two topics that we added. So let's select excretory system right here. Homeostasis on the skin. So here you go. Here you go. You have a cool video right here. Basically outlining. So as you can see, it's basically a recorded video of the topic showing. So you could say, let me turn this down. So you could just direct your students. As students, we have, you could even put it under the announcement that we have a new content for you. I would like if you guys could go ahead and run through it. It's under the biology course section, under lesson, under the library section. They'll be able to see here as well. They could go on, you could go and select excretory system. You'll see the video there. You could just go ahead, watch that, and then you'll be prepared for next class, right? Awesome stuff like that. We're making it available for you guys, just like that, right? So we're saving you so much work, right? You don't have to be all over the place. We have all the content right here. Just go ahead. Let's try to add a quiz differently. So back to course library right here. There you have a quiz, and as you can see, there are many topics right here. You could right here collapse so you can see reproduction. This is our topic, isn't it? Here you go. This is the topic that we've been doing. So you see, it has basically every topic. In biology, if you were doing chemistry, then it would have all the main topics in chemistry, maths, English, stuff like that. You understand? So it's just that if you're creating courses, that's most of the courses, they are already here. But if you're creating courses that's not yet on the system, then that's where you will be able to create your own content and so forth. Trust me, there are multiple numbers of content here from different subject here. So let's go in sexual reproduction, please. Just a minute while it's loading. You just go ahead.
Dane, while that is loading, I wanted to answer a question that a number of persons are asking. If you're able to modify quizzes and lessons from the library, yes. You're able. So when you're adding the questions, you can always modify them to how you want them. So you could just use a template, for example, from the library. There are some questions that you may want, some that you may not want. Also, tomorrow you'll be seeing how to set different levels for your test. So if you want the question to be a hard question or one that is simple, you can do that. We're going to be showing you how to do that tomorrow.
Yes, great stuff. All right, so here's just loading up a bit. That's one of the quizzes right here.
And let me just add another answer. In terms of the content library, persons will ask, there's a question, for example, about Bahamian content, like Bahamian social studies and history and all of that. This is where we come in terms of providing the content. Right now, the platform does not have in terms of those types of content because we haven't created them. So we have to create them, and that's why we've been showing you all of these wonderful workshops and webinars and helping you to develop content so that when we have an opportunity like this to upload it to an actual platform, we have something to give. And it's the same with our technical subjects as well, those subjects that may not be available on the platform, those practical subjects, we have to work at developing content that can be added to the platform, okay?
Great. All right. So you could just go ahead and select edit unit right here. You're going to see what that does. So the questions right here, loading up the questions for you guys to see. So these are basically all the questions that was in the quiz that we selected. Right, you could go ahead right here, edit each question just to answer the question that you guys posed just now that Leonie basically answered, but this is how you will do it, right? You just go ahead, these are all the questions that was in the quiz for the topic that you selected. So instead of coming up with your own questions and stuff like that, you could just edit these questions using the edit right here. If you want to clone questions, it will just populate more than once and stuff like that, right? Set the order. Right, select by criteria, a lot of cool stuff, guys, we have here for you, right? So, and in regards to what Samantha said, yes, we'll have all those contents in time, right? Because we have a team that will be uploading those contents. So it's just in regards to time, they'll be done uploading all those contents for you guys. So it's not just strictly contents from Jamaica curriculum or so forth, right? We're we're facilitating all around and all you lovely Bahamian teachers, right? So I really hope that you learned a lot today, because that's basically it in regards to adding content to your class and so forth, right?
Hey,
All
Dean,
right.
could you please, sorry, Samantha, could you please show another time how to add content from your own device? Someone is
Yeah.
asking.
Oh, of course. So let me just go back into the class. Class. So you go ahead, select add content right here. So you're going to select this pin, right? Upload from device. You go ahead, select upload from device, upload, right? If you have the content in the next window, you could just select and drag it and drop it right here. But if you have a specific part on the device where you want to go ahead and select the content from, you go ahead and select this little thing that says select a file from your device. So once you select a file from your device, it's gonna bring you basically to your device storage, right? Documents, download. Go for audit report. That's just an example. That's my stuff. So you're going to go ahead, just select, double click. Here you give it a topic.
Dame, when you're done with this, I'd love for you to show one of those activities that perhaps math related, that has maybe like simulation lab or something like that. We wanted to see some of the other content. How would a teacher go about shopping around for content? Just show them the different subject. I mean, you did it already, but can you show it again, where they go to access the content library?
Okay, sure. So like for mathematics and stuff like that.
Yes. I'd really love to, if you can show them one of those simulation labs that you have built in.
Okay. Let me just go ahead. So this is basically it. You give it a name, audit content, and you select push lesson where you want to add it. You will be able to create your lessons right here. Create new. Go ahead. New post announcement, and that will be right there on the platform for your student. And there you go. You successfully added a content from your device. So you were saying now, Samantha, right? You want to
Right.
know if you could add from the course library?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they'd like to see like the difference. I mean, you show like the quiz and the like that video. I like to see one of those simulations, what the video content is like from what you have.
Okay. So let me go ahead. So I would to get contents for different subject, then we will definitely need to create difference, because it already picks up that's a biology. So we cannot really edit from here. We would have to create a biology, like say mathematics class or so forth. So let me just go
Oh,
ahead.
so if you, so as the biology teacher, I cannot then explore reading language.
What's that?
If I am the biology teacher, I
Yes.
cannot explore language arts content.
Oh no, not from that subject area. You'll need to create a language arts class.
Yeah, but I
Or
don't want to create a language arts class. I want to integrate some language arts elements into my biology class.
I'm
Don't
not
worry,
aware.
you don't gotta answer that since you know, Leonie, write that down. We're gonna need that thing.
Leonie could write it down.
Yeah, we
You
need
want
that.
to be
Work that out
able
first,
to,
Leonie.
you want to be able to cross curriculum.
Yes, that's it. That's the thing.
All right.
So,
All right, so you're showing us some of the one simulation lab or something like that.
yes. So let me just go ahead very quickly. Just let me go ahead, try to add some theory now. Practical. Just selecting the maths class now so we could add some content from the library. So course library, you're in the class now, the maths class. So course library, you see, it already pops up mathematics. Okay, so I'm not seeing any content being added as yet. Oh, no content being added as yet for the mathematics grade 7. So, oh.
On the Jamaican side, I think most of the content that we have is for science subjects, but it will be different for Bahamas because you'll be giving us the content that you want to be added to the classes. I know that Samantha had spoken about that. So on our side, for the most part, it's science subjects, especially CXC subjects. CXC and CAPE, sorry.
Okay, got you. So you guys heard that. So you can see, I would love to show it, but I'm not seeing any content being added to the maths as yet. As I said, we'll be able to do that for you guys though, once you give us the content that you like to be added and the class. So let's just try to add some more content from the library, different from the quiz and so forth. Let me see. Topics, methods of control. So this is basically, let me go ahead and add a question bank, for example. Short quiz. Go ahead. So this is basically a question bank right here. If you start it right here, you're just gonna like be doing the quiz. But if you want to edit it, you just, as I think I showed this before, you could add test to it, go to test, add assignment, all these cool stuff you could go ahead and do, right? So let's just edit it to your preference, first of all. Loading up, guys. So you'll be able to see the questions right here. So this is basically the test bank itself. So let's go ahead and edit one of those questions. All right, so here you go. You could, yes, it's loading up a bit. So you can be able to edit the answers to your preference and so on. If you want to add a next one, if you want to remove one of the questions that was given in the test bank for this specific question, you could go ahead and do just that. So if you want to say oxygen helps the blood clot, oxygen, you want to just add something out of the box, carbon dioxide. And you go ahead and save that question. That will then, you could, here's the content right here. You could even formulate the question as how you please. That will then replace the question that was on the test bank to make it your own. Then you could make it available for your students. So this is the question. You'll have the, once you go back to, let me go ahead, my classroom. It should be there. Once you go ahead and back to biology. So the thing is, you could go ahead, you won't be able to edit the videos itself when you go ahead and add it from the course library. But what you can do, you could edit the test banks, as I just showed, the quizzes and stuff like that, right? So instead of the big part, instead of coming up with your own questions and stuff like that, you could use questions based off the same topic and just edit it into your preference based on what you have taught your students, teach your students and stuff like that, right? So that's basically how it is. Just collapse that. So let me see if there's anything else in the course library that you guys will be able to add. Skill gap test. I've never had this before. Let me see.
Yes, so the skill gap test is an excellent resource that teachers can use, especially like at the end of a unit. You want to check to see if your students are up to speed with what's going on. You will send the student to do a skill gap test to see if there are any gaps that they have and how they can fix those gaps.
Okay, great stuff. So it's basically something like a quiz, right? And then you can see what answers the students are getting wrong. Then you could assess that part. And again, which is very awesome, you can edit the skill gap test, right? So you could basically edit any resource or material that you upload to your students to make it in accordance to what you want, right? It's just that the videos are the only content that you won't be able to edit from there, but just
somebody was asking if the question when you do a quiz, if it will be marked on the platform. Yes. So once you are setting your test or your quiz, you'll have to select the correct answer, because then once the students go on and they do that quiz, it will tell them as soon as they submit the quiz, it will tell them that, okay, you got 9 out of 10, you got 10 out of 10, and show them which one was incorrect.
And there's a question about how to share a content or a quiz with another teacher, something that you created. How do you share something with another instructor?
Unless it's in the content library, as far as I know, you're not able to share your quizzes with somebody else. It would have to be in the content library for that teacher to be able to access it and add it to their class. Hold on, let me check something here. Because the quizzes don't come up like a Microsoft document or so. It shows as a quiz that's actually on the platform.
What about other pieces of content other than the quiz?
So say if you would have added a Word document, then you can share that with the teacher because that's something that's downloadable.
So can you show us can you share it in the platform, or do you just do normal share stuff?
Just normal share stuff, as far as I know. I'm checking to see if there's another way to share. But it would just be the normal way of sharing, whether through your drive, allowing them to access it from your drive, giving them access from your drive or so that they can download it to their classroom.
All right, and then we just have a lot of some questions coming in terms of different subjects added to the course library. What we have to remember, guys, is that this content have to exist. They have to exist first. There's no resource library that has everything that we need or everything that's available. Someone had to create these content first in order to add it to the content library. So as Dana had shown earlier, right now what he's showing is just those that they had for Jamaica. However, what we've been doing all along when we started creating our content from, we first started this whole virtual learning when school shut down, was creating content that we were placing on the other platform. All of those will be added to the content library, and you will have access to them that way. Anything that was not created, anything that does not exist in their platform, and this is why I told officers that we have another session with them as they go through the entire catalog of courses that you're unable to see here. I really thought that we would see it today, but anywho, they will explore and they would know, according to the curriculum and all of that, what should be there and what we don't need. All right, so Ms. Miller, you're asking about guidance and counseling. If you have content that you would like to share that we can add to the library that's specifically for guidance and counseling, please, by all means, let us know so that we can have that. However, in terms of wondering if guidance and counseling content is already there, we can't say, and we know that some things are specific to the work that you do. So we'll actually have a lot of creation still to do on our side in terms of creating content for what we need. Here's a good question, Dane. If I upload, is asking if work is uploaded to the program, does it automatically go to the bank? If a teacher uploads a piece of content, is it automatically placed into the bank of or the library for everyone?
Science teacher did check on your work, please.
Dane, we can't hear you there. Nope, I'm reading your lips.
Dane, are you having problems? Samantha, could you say that again? My little sister just came in. I'm sorry about that.
What did I say?
Oh, you were asking a question to Dane? I don't know what's happening with Dane's microphone.
I forget what I asked just now. Somebody remind me in the chat.
Oh, you were asking if the test will automatically be uploaded to the bank.
Oh, not just test, any content. If a teacher uploads a content, is it automatically added to the library for everybody?
So you mean to the course library?
Yes.
So what you can do, there's an option in the course library here for you to add a content. Hold on. To add resource, sorry. So when you go to the course library, there's an option there that asks you to add content or to upload resource. You can upload it there, and then other teachers, other persons would be able to access it.
All right, next question. If a student uploads work, can the work be printed?
You mean in terms of tests that are already on the platform, or
Yeah.
like they'd have to do like a print screen or so of that test, because there isn't an option there for them to download the test because it's not a Word document. It doesn't open in another screen. Like when you upload content to the page or to your classroom, it uploads like a Word document, so it opens in another browser and you can save it to your computer or so. It doesn't show like that for the test. The test shows similar to if you were to say go on to Kahoot or one of those sites and set an online test, it's gonna show as an online test.
Okay, let me just say this up. We're going to talk about the primary in a bit in terms of what primary possibilities for primary. I see a lot of questions coming in with that. But here's another question. Can a teacher edit a quiz score if it was automatically marked by the computer? Can they go back and edit a test score?
I think that's something that the platform would have to do. We would have to go in and help you with that. Because once they do the test, then the score is automatically recorded.
Right. Okay. So that's probably a good if you have to go in, you reach out to the support team and they will, I guess, help with that. Just trying to go through some of these questions. Questions related to assessment and feedback. Remember, guys, that is for tomorrow. So if you see me dismiss your question, that's because it has to do with quizzes, assessment, and I want to use the time for what we want for this particular session. Oh, here's one. Two persons really asked about this. They're unable to change their profile pic. That has nothing to do with
that's something that I would have to check with the dev team on to see why you're not able to change your class picture. So I'll write that down too, to check with the dev team to see what's happening on that side.
All right. Oh yeah, that's also, Olive is actually giving a good suggestion in terms of sharing content with other teachers. You could just add a teacher to your class.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Or you could just give them access to your Google Drive, like allow them to be able to collaborate with you in your Google Drive, because then they'll be able to add the content to their to the platform like that.
Now here's a Shoshana. We know each other a long time, and that's a beautiful question you asked about where can we send content for us to share? Where have you been all of this long time? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop inside the chat two links. One is the primary resource submission link, and the next one will be a secondary resource submission link, so that if you have a resource that you would like to share, that we could perhaps use now on the platform, we could upload to this content library now. You know, we've been working on a lot of resources and developing content, and now you're ready just to pull it all together and share. I am going to send, as a matter of fact, before we leave the session, I'll send you a link, and I will make it high school and secondary so that I don't have too many links going on. All right, so that's a good question. Thank you for wanting to share. Are the answers to short answer questions? Are the answers to short answer questions case sensitive? That's Dan Leone.
Yes, Samantha, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, I'm asking, are the answers for a short answer question case sensitive?
No, they're not case sensitive.
Okay. Good. Can content be downloaded or is it viewed only online? Can content be downloaded or is it viewed? Is it view only?
If it's something that you uploaded, it can be downloaded by the student. So whether it is a PowerPoint, a Word document, an MP4 file, MP3 file, whatever you uploaded, students are able to download.
So what if we uploaded from the ministry side, added it to the content library?
Then students wouldn't be able to download that. Like if you upload videos,
yeah,
students wouldn't be, on our side, students aren't able to download that. I'm not sure if that's something that we could talk to the team about giving you access to do, to upload stuff to the content library that can be downloaded.
Okay. Can someone answer my question? Jabina, where the question is it in the Q&A? I'm only looking at the Q&A. I couldn't keep up with the chat. Remember, the question goes in the Q&A. Where's your question, Jabina? I tell you, I like put me on blast in the front of guests, man. Motto. Can you add questions such as labeling diagrams? Oh, on Thursday, when we start looking at the interactive content, you want to check out Thursday's session for the interactive content that we'll be doing. Things like how you can do activities like drag and drop and labeling, okay? Just trying to go through the chat. Oh, primary school. So as you can see, and I know most persons have been saying, I mean, you see it, it looks pretty much as if it's designed for high school students, but in Jamaica, they have been also using it for their primary school students. For this particular rollout of it, we are creating one general class called grade 1. For the public session, we have like grade 1 general, grade 2 general, grade 3 general. And if you notice on the left-hand side, I don't know, I'm thinking if you could share your screen with me again, please, where we have one of the classes. It could be any one of those classes that you just created open, so that I could give those primary school teachers an idea as they go and create their class. They can see one of the alternatives we are looking at. All right, so if you go into where your stream is, into the class, so let's just say this particular class was your grade 1 general class, right? We call it general because, you know, we're generalists. On the left-hand side where it says your class sections, you may decide to put that as week 1, week 2, week 3. And then when you add a topic, okay, go ahead, you're gonna go with me. Create a section that says week 3. All right, and then, good, and now inside week 3, and this will only work for right now inside our COVID example, but we're working on the other way around this. When you add a topic, so our new topic will be reading, because that's usually the first subject of the timetable. Hold on, wait. I was gonna tell you, hold on. Inside reading, you could edit it, right? The topic.
If you can edit the name of the topic, yes.
Yeah, so when you go into reading, just edit that topic for me, Dane, and put reading dash main idea. All right, good. And then what you would do inside that block is where you will put all of your content for your reading lesson for that week. Mind you, that week could also have been days. We could break that down to have the sub, whatever the case may be. Then you add another topic. So you will add content right there in that block. Good. And we add our next topic. Our topic now will be math. We have math next. And the specific topic for that will be joining sets. Good. And then you have all inside, and you just continue just like that in terms of adding in the content for the different subjects for the generalists. Now, the reason why I say that this can work for us for right now is just that at the end of the day, because this is considered one course, you will not get individual course grades for the different subjects. But right now, as we are using it during our COVID for practice or whatever, they'll get an overall general grade for this particular course. However, this is the workaround for now until we can look at how we can make it a bit more streamlined for our primary students. But the way that it works in Jamaica is that the students also have all of those subjects that are populated. The teacher would generally have to create those classes. But when we if we do this in terms of the ministry take it on full time and we're pushing this out to you, once you've identified yourself as a grade 1 student or identified yourself as a grade 1 teacher, the classes will already be populated for you, and then you just add whatever content you want to it. So right for now, like I said, this is our sandbox time where you get to explore, you add what you want, you take away what you want, get familiar with the interface, play around with it. In terms of actually setting up all of that back end, we will actually have that done for you, even right down to adding students to your class. Some teachers asked about what if, you know, we're getting students next year. It's going to be different from the students this year. It's quite okay. When you create the course will be the content and all of the information in it. Remember, we added students to the class. So when new school year come, all we do is we take those students out and we add a new set of students, and the content remains with the class. All right, so it's not like, oh, we have to start all over again and create a new class, because the classes are not attached to the students. The students are attached to the class. And they can be detached. All right. I think that's generally it that we can go through for now. I hope that we answered most of the questions. If you have any more questions, we'll try to save extra time at the end of tomorrow's session.